go. Good evening and welcome to the Fort Smith City Board of Directors meeting on this September 2nd of 2025. Thanks to all of you for being here right after the holiday. We hope you had a wonderful time with your families. Keep in mind these meetings are being televised live for the benefit of residents who cannot be with us in person. And so with that, I'm going to ask Director Kemp to do the invocation and Director George Cassavas to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you pray with me? Lord, I'm humbled tonight to be here and with good friends and citizens of our community, and we thank you for the blessings you've given to us. It is, Lord, with a heart of sadness that I do lift up the family of the teacher that passed away from Northside and those that are connected, the students that were close to that teacher, and the many that would be affected by the loss. And Lord, we pray for your comfort and your peace for them. We lift them up. We lift up Northside High School to you tonight. And we pray, Lord, that your presence would be with them. And Lord, as we discuss these matters, we pray the Lord's Prayer, that your will would be done in Fort Smith, Arkansas, as it is in heaven. Lead us tonight in these matters. We need your strength and wisdom and guidance. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Director Kemp and Director George Cassavas. Okay. This time we will ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Directors Rigo, Good, Kemp,
Here.
George Catsavas.
Here.
Christina Catsavas. Here. Settle.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Okay, thank you very much. Just at this time, I will ask if there's any member of the board that may have an item of business that's not already on the agenda. Okay, thank you. Seeing none, we'll ask for approval of the August 19th regular minutes.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you all very much. This time, we will go right to the first item on the agenda. Mr. Dingman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. The first item this evening is an ordinance rezoning property at 1400 and 1404 South 11th Street. Deputy Administrator Maggie Rice will further introduce this item.
Yes, on August 12th, the Planning Commission held a public hearing to consider the subject master land use plan amendment and rezoning applications. The property, containing a little over 0.3 acres, is located on the southwest corner of South M Street and South 11th Street. The proposed master land use plan amendment to mixed-use residential and zoning to transitional allows for the construction of 2 duplexes on individual lots. A neighborhood meeting was held, and there were no neighboring property owners in attendance. At the Planning Commission meeting, Mr. Brandon Woodrome was present to represent these applications. There were none present in opposition or in favor. The Planning Commission voted 8 in favor with 0 opposed to recommend the master land use plan map and zoning map be amended.
Okay, thank you. At this time, Madam Clerk, are there any citizens' comments?
We have Mr. Woodrome to answer questions only.
Okay, thank you for being here, sir. At this time, we entertain a motion to adopt the ordinance with the suspension of the rules.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please read the ordinance.
An ordinance amending the master land use plan map and rezoning identified property and amending the zoning map for properties located at 1400 and 1404 1404 South 11th Street.
Okay, thank you. Are there any comments from the board? Director Kemp, you recognize.
Thank you, Mayor. Maggie, just one quick question. With this zoning near industrial as well and everything as well around it, will this create any kind of piecemeal zoning that could create any long-term compatibility issues for any other businesses?
No, it should not. In fact, it is contiguous to some transitional zoning, and this property was actually zoned transitional until 2012 when it was changed to industrial light. So they're taking it back to the transitional.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Okay, seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Directors Good,
Yes.
Kemp,
Yes.
George Catsavas.
Yes.
Christina Catsavas.
Yes.
Settle,
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
It's approved, 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
We need a motion to adopt the emergency
So
clause.
moved. Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Directors Kemp?
Yes.
George Katsavas?
Yes.
Christina Katsavas?
Yes.
Settle?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Motion passes, 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
This time we'll go to item number 2.
Item 2 is an ordinance rezoning properties in the 5200 block of South 33rd Street. Ms. Rice?
Yes, on August 12th, the Planning Commission held a public hearing to consider the subject master land use plan amendment and rezoning applications. The property contains a little over 1 acre and is located on the west side of South 33rd Street between Vicksburg and Waco. The proposed master land use plan amendment to mixed-use residential and zoning to residential single-family duplex high-density or an RSD4 zone allows for the construction of 7 duplexes on individual lots. A neighborhood meeting was held. There was 1 neighboring property owner that attended the meeting with concerns regarding residential development amidst industrial uses. At the Planning Commission meeting, Mr. Brandon Woodrum was present to represent these applications. Mr. Sean Hunt was present with concerns regarding traffic, noise, and property value. The Planning Commission voted 6 in favor with 2 opposed to recommend the master land use plan map and zoning map be amended.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any citizens' comments, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Woodrum is available to answer questions.
Okay, again, thank you for being here, sir. This time we'll entertain a motion to adopt the ordinance with the suspension of the rules.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please read the ordinance.
An ordinance amending the master land use plan map and rezoning identified property and amending the zoning map, and this is for properties located at 5200, 5202, 5204, 5206, 5208, 5210, 5212, 5214, 5216, 5218, 5220, 5222, and 5224, and 5226 South 33rd Street.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'll open it up for discussion from the board. Mayor. Okay, Director Kemp, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Maggie, was there any discussion around why there wasn't a complete agreement with the Planning Commission?
Yes, they discussed at length about several of the requirements because some of the consternation from the property owners to the east included the traffic, the truck traffic, the 18-wheeler traffic that travels South 33rd Street. But Mr. Woodrum, the developers, agreed to a substantial list of requirements that was approved with the development plan by the Planning Commission to mitigate some of those issues.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What type of housing is this? Would it be considered affordable housing or high-end? What do you?
Mr. Woodrum is here. I believe it's just rental property, but Mr.
Just
Woodrum,
rental.
could you address that?
What would it be, some idea of the rent structures on these?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're high-end, but they're not like low-end affordable housing.
Okay.
They're about 900 square feet. They'll rent for about 11 to 1,200 a month.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions? Director Christina Casamas.
Maggie, does this fall into the area where they have to meet the sound attenuation requirements anyway?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, these duplexes are considered a noise-sensitive land use, and their construction will have to meet the sound transmission class standards for that 80 to 85 dB DNL noise contour.
Because they're in the MCAOD area?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Director Neil Martin.
Maggie, on page 65 of our packet, I think we map out the zoning of various properties. And there is a lot of residential, and I think that was one of the issues that one of the, had some of the documentation around, you had concerns about residential in this area. But I know that a lot of this there's some industrial and commercial, but there's still a lot of residential here. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Especially to the west, there's almost several blocks of intact residential,
Right.
And immediately adjacent to this property across the alley, there's new duplex construction that's happening at present.
Across Waco or
Across the alley, so it would be on South 32nd Street.
Okay. And then there's a school not too far from here as well.
Yes, further to the west.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Within walking distance?
It's on Tulsa.
Okay.
Not too far.
Okay. All right.
You could walk, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Directors George Katsavas.
Yes.
Christina Katsavas.
Yes.
Settle.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Kemp.
Yes.
It's approved, 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
This time, we need a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Directors Christina Katsavas.
Yes.
Settle.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Kemp.
Yes.
George Katsavas.
Yes.
Motion passes 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
We'll go to item number 3.
This item is an ordinance amending the municipal code related to procurement of professional services. The city is permitted by state law to identify and codify specific professional services that it wishes to procure according to the statutory provisions for qualifications-based services. Real estate agency services are not specified or included, so tonight's proposed ordinance seeks to add real estate agent services to the list of applicable professional services. This action is suggested as prior board discussions related to the sale of city-owned properties indicate the city could benefit from procuring the services of a real estate agent. With that introduction, I'll entertain questions from the board.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any citizens' comments, Madam Clerk?
None indicating.
Okay, we need a motion to adopt the ordinance with suspension of the rule.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please read the ordinance.
An ordinance amending Section 2-182 subsection D of the Fort Smith Municipal Code.
Thank you. At this time, we'll entertain board comments. Director Christina Katsavas, you recognize.
So I saw in the memo where it says real estate agents who have submitted qualifications. What are those qualifications? I feel like we need to be specific about that.
They don't respond to a specific qualification set. They submit their qualifications as they determine are applicable to the jobs that they are seeking. Professional services companies typically provide resumes and experience and such of the different, and name the individuals that would be working on the projects that we have. And those qualifications are what we evaluate and compare from one company to the next when we're selecting the most qualified to accomplish the project that we need.
So I mean, I think it's imperative that whoever it is licensed with the Arkansas Real Estate Commission, because I don't want to get into a situation like we have with the FCRA where you have someone representing property sales and earning a commission without a license. I also would like to stipulate that, you know, we're using local firms, so they maintain a Fort Smith address. You know, I don't want to see this be something that you know, we open it up and then we've got Northwest Arkansas, people like that coming in that, you know, they're not as easy to meet face to face. I want someone who's knowledge of our local markets and potential buyers. Also, too, if we're talking about the excess property that the city has, I'm wondering if it wouldn't be beneficial to just do an open listing and pay a 5 to 6% commission that way. I didn't know if that was something that had been thought of or discussed.
Certainly, understood all those points. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? Director Kemp.
Would it be even in the good spirit of what she's talking about with Director Christina Katsavas, is it even appropriate to even ask about their sales? I mean, to the level, so we understand the kind of level of their output and their services that they provide? It
certainly is, because I think specifically to real estate agent services, that is typically a measurable quantity of how they measure their success. So, you know, there are a number of things. There are 5, and if you're going to ask me to cite them, I'm not going to be able to, 5 specific things that we have to look for in terms of types of qualifications, but local familiarity with the local market is one of those, as well as substantiating their experience, and that sales quantification that you mentioned is one of those items.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Okay. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Director Settle.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Kemp.
Yes.
George Katsavas.
Yes.
Christina Katsavas.
Yes.
It's approved, 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
This time we entertain a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Directors Martin.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Kemp.
Yes.
George Katsavas.
Yes.
Christina Katsavas.
Yes.
Settle.
Yes.
Motion passes, 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
Item number 4.
This item is an ordinance that, upon adoption, will facilitate the city conveying property at 1801 South 74th Street back to its original donor. Methodist Village donated vacant property to the city in May of 1966 to facilitate the city then conveying the property to Boast for their project of a special needs school, which was done in June of 1966. Boast then built the buildings for their special needs school on the property. The deed conveying the property to Boast included a clause that the property reverts to the ownership of the city if or when Boast ceases to use it for their special needs school, which occurred in 2024. Upon this conveyance, Methodist Village intends to improve the property for use as a daycare facility and will again include a reversion clause favoring the city. The city attorney suggested this action item be in ordinance form to formalize this exceptional situation. With that, the staff of the city attorney will stand for questions from the board.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any citizens' comments, Madam Clerk?
None indicated.
Okay, thank you. We need a motion to adopt the ordinance
So
with the
moved.
suspension of the rules.
With
Thank
suspension
you.
of the rules.
Thank you,
Second.
sir. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please read the ordinance.
It's an ordinance declaring an exceptional situation, waiving the requirements of competitive bidding, and authorizing the conveyance of real property located at 1801 South 74th Street to Methodist Village Incorporated and for other purposes.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Director Kemp.
Thank you, Mayor. I have just a couple, and maybe this is something that Colby or whoever can address. Will the deed restrictions ensure like continued daycare use, or could the property later be repurposed without the board approval or review?
No, the proposed deed would restate that Methodist Village or its successors and signs has the property so long as it's utilized as a child care or daycare facility. And if that use ceases, then the property reverts back to the city of Fort Smith.
Are there any other safeguards or things that can be there to make sure that we ensure that the city isn't left with a deteriorating facility if Methodist Village ceases its use? I mean, I don't know if there is anything we can do, but just wanted to ask.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that with Jeff. And I don't know if the city had anything in place, 60 years ago when we did this with Boast. So that'd be something we'd probably need to think about. But typically the deed restriction, identifies the use and states that if that use ceases, then the property reverts back to the grantor.
Yeah, I just think it'd be great if y'all would look into that. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from the board? If not, please call the roll.
Directors Good,
Yes.
Kemp,
Yes.
George Katsavas.
Yes.
Christina Katsavas.
Yes.
Settle.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
It's approved, 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
Okay, thank you very much. We go to number 5.
Item 5 is a resolution confirming the appointment of Amanda Strange as Director of Internal Audit and authorizing the mayor to execute an employment agreement. Eric Garvin, the Acting Director of Human Resources, is available for any questions related to this item.
Okay, thank you. Eric, do you have any opening comments or that you'd like to make, or?
I think, kind of memo summed it up there. Following the executive session held on August 12th, Director Kemp did make a motion to appoint Amanda Strange as the Director of Internal Audit, pending finalization of an employment agreement based on input from the board. Following the August 12th executive session, an offer of employment was extended to Ms. Strange, and she's accepted pending approval by this board of the employment agreement.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any citizens' comments, Madam Clerk?
None indicating.
Okay, we need a motion to adopt the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any further comments from the board? Okay, seeing none, please call the roll.
Directors Kemp,
Yes.
George Katsavas.
Yes.
Christina Katsavas.
Yes.
Settle.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
It's approved, 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
Okay, we'll go to item 6.
Item 6 tonight includes 3 subparts, all stemming from the board's discussion at its strategic planning workshop held on August 22nd. The items are item 6A, a resolution approving the 2025-26 strategic priorities for the city of Fort Smith, a resolution adopting a mission statement for the city of Fort Smith, and item 6C, a resolution adopting a vision statement and value statements for the city of Fort Smith.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any citizens' comments, Madam Clerk?
None indicating.
Okay, we need a motion to adopt the resolutions 6A, 6B, and 6C.
So moved.
We'll batch those.
Mayor, I'd
Yes.
like to make a motion that we would table 6A to September 23rd give us a study session to really talk about the strategic priorities. That was at the end of our day. I think that those are important for us to look at with fresh energy and fresh eyes and perspectives and make sure that we've tuned them up. But I'm definitely all for B and C. I just would like to see if there's anyone that wants to second a table of 6A.
Any comments from the board?
I'm good with tabling 6A.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a second.
We got a second. Madam Clerk, 6A will be tabled.
Need to vote on that.
Right. Please call the roll.
Directors George Katsavas,
Yes.
Christina Katsavas,
No.
Settle,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Kemp.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 in favor and 1 opposed.
Okay. This time, we would entertain a motion to adopt items 6B and 6C.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any further comments on those two items? Okay, seeing none, please call the roll.
Directors Christina Katsavas,
Yes.
Settle,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Good, Kemp,
Yes.
George Katsavas.
Yes.
It's approved, 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
This time, we'll go to the consent agenda. Mr. Damon, you're recognized. Present that.
Thank you, Mayor. There are 8 items on this evening's consent agenda. We have a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with Fort Smith Public Schools. We have a resolution approving an agreement with Baker Tilly for risk assessment services, a resolution accepting bids for the purchase of water, wastewater chemicals for 2025 and 26, an ordinance related to the purchase of liquid chlorine for 2025 and 26, an ordinance related to the purchase of potassium permanganate for 2025 and 26, a resolution approving amendment to a land lease agreement with American Towers, a resolution authorizing change order number 1 for 2024 overlay construction project, and a resolution accepting a completion and authorizing the final pay on that 2024 overlay and construction project.
Okay, thank you very much. At this time, I will ask if any board member has an item for separate discussion. Director Christina Katsavas,
7D and E.
7D and E. Okay, thank you. Are there any others? If not, let's go to item D.
Mayor, we do have one individual to speak on item 7A,
Okay,
which is
that person is recognized.
Dan Williams.
Dan, thanks for being here, Dan.
2 minutes.
Good evening, Board. I'm looking at this. Whenever it was talked about last year, I had some questions about it. I went to the school and had some questions about it. I have some concerns and maybe just need more information of how we got connected to the school to get $500,000 for almost $5 million grant. I think it's about $4 million is what we actually got. My concern was when I went to the school and asked them about it, they couldn't clearly tell me where they were getting the funds. And I'm just thinking, how do you raise $500,000 to get $5 million? And then the city kind of being involved in this, it brought up a lot of questions. And so can y'all help me understand this a little bit? It seems very, it seems like something's going on and I'm having a hard time with it.
I mean,
This particular grant is a noise mitigation grant that impacts the two school properties. The school district agreed to pay the 10% match from their funds, and that's what this agreement formalizes. And as far as where they source the matching funds, that is something for the school district to decide.
My fear is that you can't use grant money to get grant money. And because they've gotten so much COVID money, my fear is that we're using grant money to access grant money.
I think that would be up to the school board, right?
So I think the city approached the school.
Okay. Chris, you want to make any comments on this proposal?
Good evening. So I was looped into this in November, October of last year. I believe the way that this came about was Taryn Judd, who is a consultant with the chamber and then us, knew about these funds because he used to work for the Office of Local Defense Community Cooperation, so he knew about these noise mitigation funds. This program came out last year, and so former Administrator Gethkin at the time and Superintendent Morawski discussed it, and that's how we got it. That's why we're here at this point.
Okay, and in brief, what is the purpose for the funds?
So it's for noise attenuation activities at Warren Cornell Elementary School. So that includes doors, windows, weatherization, and basically to bring down the decibel level of those schools because they are within the noise contours. The eligibility guidelines for this grant program require that a school be within specific noise contours and within a mile of the installation. And so that's why they qualified.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
I would just say, I think there still needs to be some information. This was, I went to the school board and asked about it. I didn't get clear details, and I'm asking y'all for clear details too, because I believe there's something that needs to be looked at.
Tell you what, Dan, if you could get those specific questions to administration, then we could see if we can address those for you.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you. Okay, items D.
I recognize.
You are.
So, you know, we're waiving competitive bidding again for something as common as liquid chlorine. And I know it's not everybody makes that, but there's certainly more than this one company that does. When you look at the U.S. liquid chlorine price index at $750 a ton, we're paying almost $3,000. That's a 4-time markup. And I understand maybe that chlorine price index is wholesale, but it's still a 4-time markup. You know, are we an outlier here? I don't understand why we're not calling around. I called around. I'm a little behind because everyone was closed yesterday, but I found a company called Hawkins. They connected me with a representative who had a local 479 number. I left a message with him. And, you know, was hoping to get a call back before the meeting tonight. I haven't received one. But, you know, we've had all year to look at this. You know, we have a purchasing department for a reason. They're not an order-taking department. They're a purchasing department. Why are they not going out and seeking competitive bids from all around the country? Because, I mean, we're looking at paying $2,924 a ton for 140 tons. That's a lot of money. That's a big markup. Andy, do you have any answers for me?
I don't know specifically about the liquid chlorine. My understanding is this is the only place in the region that we can get this product.
But we don't have to go with just the region. I mean, we can look outside the region. I mean, let's look at, you know, Missouri. Let's look at Texas.
That's true. I mean, I think if that's a possibility, but, you know, I think we've, I mean, historically, we've just determined that this is the only place to get it, but I agree, this is high. I mean, we're getting bids on everything that we know that we can get bids on. I mean, the purchasing department is. I mean, we definitely are encouraging competitive bidding. In this one particular case and the other one on 7E, these are the two items that we understood to be the only source that we could find.
I mean, I Googled and found one. It's called Hawkins. They produce this kind of chlorine. I requested from purchasing the specs on the chlorine. They make a similar chlorine that looks like it matches all the purity, the moisture, the other things. So I think we've got to really start using that purchasing department. You know, and I said a while back, I'm not voting on anything where we're waiving the requirement for competitive bidding. Now, item 4 with Methodist Village, that's a little bit of a different thing. I believe they conveyed that to the city for specific use. It's no longer being used, so it should go back to them. It should be returned. You know, that's a different thing than chemicals. I mean, every city treats their chemicals. I can't imagine that this place in Oklahoma is the only place in the whole country we can get chemicals. We should be shopping it around.
I mean, I'm happy to have them look into it.
Which,
I mean, I'm all for saving. That's about a 6% increase on a fairly expensive product.
So is the U.S. liquid chlorine price index, is that a wholesale price or is that a recommended retail price?
I couldn't answer that. I don't know that.
That's what I couldn't find a clear answer on, but it's $750 a ton. We're looking at $3,000 a ton. So, you know, even if that was wholesale, maybe we should be paying around $1,500 a ton. You know, and then that kind of brings me into 7E with the potassium permanganate, and it said that we're locked into a proprietary system. And, you know, I believe in a free market. So we're getting locked into these proprietary things. This was my issue with the Amoresco and the meters, the AMI meters, is, you know, now we can't shop it around. Now we can't bid these things out. And which, the potassium permanganate, I looked that up, and that price seems to be reasonably an average price. But the liquid chlorine, to me, felt very high.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we see if we get Lance, you want to make any comments on these items? Thank you, Director Savage.
The only thing I can say about liquid chlorine is when we talk about liquid chlorine, we're not talking about bleach. We're talking about compressed gas that is turned into a liquid state in a 1-ton cylinder. And there is a high cost for transporting that from location to location. So if we bought it from California, we would be paying additional hazardous waste fees all the way to our plants here in Arkansas. I agree that the cost seems high. And in this region, which liquid chlorine is also kind of governed by the Department of Homeland Security, because you can use that for nefarious reasons. A lot of the manufacturers of liquid chlorine that can be utilized for drinking water have gone out of business or consolidated under one organization. But I agree with Andy. I'm more than happy to look elsewhere than where we have been looking. I don't know that we would find a cost savings, but I am happy to look elsewhere.
Okay, I appreciate that, because, you know, when I look at the breakdown, the purity, the moisture, the NVM, the carbon, the chloroform, all that, and the percentages, that Hawkins had one that matched, and they have a representative with a local 479 phone number. So I imagine, you know, if we're thinking about Tulsa, Joplin, Fayetteville, Springdale, they're not all sourcing from just this one place in Oklahoma. Let's see where they're getting their stuff and see if we can get a better deal. I mean, it's worth looking into when we're looking at 4-time markup here. You know, I just think about, in my own business, would I accept that? That's always kind of my standard. In my own business, in my personal life, would I accept this? You know, no, I wouldn't accept a 4-time markup, you know, from anybody. I have gone to companies and just made myself a supplier, you know, if I think I can turn things in big enough quantity. So, you know, I think it's definitely worth looking into, because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So.
I will also state that Hawkins we also have sodium hypochlorite, which is a 10% bleach solution that Brentag also was the sole bidder on, and that was in the reverse bid category, and Hawkins did not bid on that. I don't know why they didn't, but that's the other thing is, in the past, these were the only companies that would ever bid on these chemicals. So that's kind of why we went with sole sources, to try to negotiate the best price we could get.
I think we need to redirect our, you know, and I want to talk more about procurement practices going forward, but we need to redirect our purchasing department to be soliciting bids for everything, not just in your department, but everywhere, just actively soliciting as many bids as possible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And item E, similar.
Yeah, I touched on that.
Okay.
I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Are there any other questions or discussion on those items? Okay. If there are no citizens' comments, at this time we need a motion to adopt all consent agenda items.
Well, can we take D out, table that until we can get some other bids? Would everybody be willing to do that?
I'd second it.
Okay.
We
I'd
can
like
take it
to
out
pull
for a
D
separate-
out for a separate vote.
Okay, we'll pull D out for a separate vote.
E, you're good with E?
I'm good with E since we're locked into that proprietary system. I think, you know, going forward, maybe we should think a little bit longer about getting locked into a system like that. But I think that's our only option, and the price on that one did look market value reasonable.
Okay. This time, Madam Clerk, we're going to be voting on item D. Okay.
D to table.
D to table, yes.
Direct-
Please call the roll.
Director Settle,
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Kemp,
Yes.
George Katsavas.
Yes.
Christina Katsavas.
Yes.
Motion passes 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
Okay. This time we'll entertain a motion to adopt all consent agenda items with the exception of item D.
D, so moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any further comments? Okay, seeing none, please call the roll.
Directors Martin,
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
Kemp,
Yes.
George Katsavas.
Yes.
Christina Katsavas.
Yes.
Settle.
Yes.
It's approved, 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you very much. This time we're going to go to the officials forum. A couple of items. I will be happy to give a report from the Air Force Education and Training Command. We hold those quarterly, and that gives us a broad overview of what the Air Force is doing, what the future looks like, and oftentimes I engage them to discuss the mission that we have here. So if you all would like, I could make that part of my presentation on a quarterly basis as we meet with them. And also, same with the chamber board meetings. I serve as an adjunct committee member, and I'll be delighted to bring reports every month on what we discuss and the direction, if new projects are going, bring that to you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Other than that, I would like to just simply take time to make my statement concerning the loss of Senator Gary Stubblefield. I am deeply saddened by the loss of my former colleague, Senator Gary Stubblefield. During our time together in the Arkansas legislature, I saw his steadfast commitment to his constituents and to the state of Arkansas. While we often approached issues from different perspectives, I always respected his convictions and his devotion to the public service. So on behalf of the city of Fort Smith, I extend a heartfelt condolences to his wife, Katie, their children, and the entire Stubblefield family. He will certainly be missed. This time we will go to Director Neil Martin.
Nothing, Mayor, nothing for me,
Okay,
Mayor.
Director Settler, Director Christina Katsavas.
I would like to have a study session to discuss a comprehensive plan around our water infrastructure. I know we talk a lot about the consent decree, we talk a lot about our sewer infrastructure, but we were presented with a $585 million plan for the water transmission line. We've also got water leaks, we've got meters, we've got pipe replacement, we do have the consent decree, we have the day-to-day operations. I feel like maybe we need to think about hiring an outside firm to come in, create a comprehensive plan so that we can make small incremental changes so we're not operating in crisis mode. So we're not looking at a new tax, we're not looking at rate increases. What can we do now? Can we fix some of these leaks to stave off the need for the transmission line for a while? I've been reading a lot about satellite detection for leaks. It's been, several cities have been using it, had really good success with it. Maybe we're saving 500,000 gallons a day. That's happened in some of the cities I've read about. So I'd like to have a study session to discuss this, maybe look at our current CIP, see what can be paused or resequenced without jeopardizing consent decree milestones, and see if we can get together some sort of comprehensive plan so things aren't being brought to us piecemeal. 1 week it's meters, 1 week it's the transmission line. So we have some sort of comprehensive plan, some sort of goal we're working towards, so we don't get into a situation with our water infrastructure like we did with the sewer. Thank you.
And I would like to include that because of the rate of our growth and manufacturers looking to come to Fort Smith, and many of them that we've seen are requiring large sums of water. And so I think we need to discuss adequate water supply as we expect to grow.
You know, I did have an opportunity this week to speak with some engineers that work in this kind of field. And, you know, I said, what if we could reduce 10% of our leaks? What does that look like? You know, gallons per day. You know, could we reduce 500,000 gallons per day in leaks? And, you know, it seems like maybe that's possible. And that's something we can do in the short term and something we can do without a big financial burden. So I think it's definitely worth spending a full study session on, taking some time to look through.
Okay, thank you very much. Director George Cassatt.
Nothing.
Okay, Director Kemp.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one item. The job posting for the city administrator for the city of Fort Smith has gone up today for 45 days. And I know that that's our effort to see who would apply. I did want to see about measuring our idea of commitment to this. Did ask HR Director Eric Garvin about, is there any postings of other sites with a nominal usage of dollars would still get us out there a little bit more where they're directed to the city website? And he did come forward with a couple of those that he recommended. And so, you know, what I would propose to us would say to create a budget not to exceed $1,000, but allow the HR department to take our city website link and posting to some critical sites where this gets a little bit more exposure than just sitting on our city website.
I'd be okay with that.
I don't know if that has to have a vote or if it's just more of a, I don't know what we need to do.
Yeah, I think we
City administrator can do that.
Yeah.
Under a certain dollar amount. Yeah.
Good deal.
Okay, thank you. Director Good.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a comment. I want to say that I appreciate the comments of Director Christina Cassatt as we talk about our water issues. And I do agree. She noted that we need to do something, you know, here and now. You know, but I do want to make the statement that I do disagree with the comment about this being piecemealed, because every situation that we're addressing right now has been addressed in years previously. Give you an example. The water transmission lines was an item that we were talking about way back when I got on the board at 2008. So these items have been addressed and they haven't been piecemealed. They've been put on the back burner because previous board members didn't want to make the necessary agreements to raise rates or to do whatever was necessary to make sure that that money was there to do these projects. Or, of course, we didn't have a person to do grants as we do now with Chris. So we do have an opportunity to do something now that what we said in the past would save our children and grandchildren this burden of what we're going through now. So, again, I do agree with you, and let's make some kind of decision now.
Okay, thank you, Director Good. This time we'll go to our acting administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week, I sent something around to the board suggesting some potential dates for meeting for the board's budget review or the review on the front end of our budget discussions with staff. And I wanted to try to solidify a schedule related to that. The one that I sent had a couple of comments. I know the one director indicated that he couldn't make Monday's work, and I had some other comments about when we might try to do that. So I wanted to ask you all for input on that process this evening. We currently have the schedule that I suggested last week, Monday, September the 8th, Thursday, September the 11th, Monday, September 15th, and Wednesday, September 17th as tentative dates, but I wanted to see if the board had other suggestions.
So I will say 3 nights a week is just really hard for me with my family commitments. I could do, and I think I suggested this in an email, I would rather do Tuesday, Thursday for 3 weeks than Monday, Tuesday, Thursday for 2 weeks. And I don't know if that works better with everyone else's schedule.
My daughter plays volleyball Tuesdays and Thursdays. I will make it work where I can, but if y'all, I can add, wherever you can talk about that day, if I have questions, I'll submit it. I can watch the video, so.
Is there any possibility of like a Friday, like a long Friday, instead of doing it over evening?
I got to work, and I mean, I could do Friday
What did we do
evening,
last
but
year?
you got.
What did we do last year?
Well, this is ahead, so we're getting in front of it. Typically, we go in November. So
Last year, did we not go to one day? All day.
But it was in November, yeah.
And that was after administration had gone through the budget to propose it to the board, but we're talking
Jeff's
about
asking to do it in front of him.
something in addition to what we did in November. We will also do that in November as well, to talk
Whatever
about
y'all
what actually gets
schedule, I'll
proposed.
work around. I'll just tell you that.
Multiple nights is hard. It is hard. I agree with that.
I mean, I could make Mondays work, I could make Wednesdays work, I just said Tuesday, Thursday, so it wasn't consecutive. Consecutive nights are just hard for me, but I would prefer to do 3 weeks versus trying to get it into 2 weeks.
So maybe spread it out.
Spread it out a little bit. When we talked about this initially, I didn't think we would be acting on it until October. October seemed like that was the timeline.
Well, I might just say to that, for our budget schedule, administration goes through the departmental budget reviews through the month of September in order to be able to compile the budget and to distribute it to the board by, I think we've targeted October the 14th for this year. In order to do all of that, this input from the board to see the initial budget requests from all the departments and see where we're starting from, doing that on the front end necessitates us doing that earlier rather than later.
So if we do, and I'm amenable to the idea of the Tuesday, Thursdays, but does that really require 3 weeks of Tuesday, Thursdays? If we
could determine that after the first couple of times that we meet, if additional meetings are
Initially, it was
required.
6 meetings, so I was just trying to spread it out, spread the 6 meetings out.
I'm flexible.
If you start at 5:30, I could be here for, depending on what's going on, I could be here maybe for the first hour of it, then I'll leave, so.
I can do 5:30.
Likewise, flexible after 5:30.
On a Tuesday, Thursday schedule, the only problem with that then is it conflicts with our regular meetings and study sessions.
Good point. So that takes away Tuesdays.
So that takes away the 16th. Could we, maybe just do Thursday that week, and then the next Tuesday that would be a study session?
We have an item already moved for the study session, strategic items already moved there.
Is there any appetite, I mean, I don't like to give up weekends, but is there any appetite to doing this, and once again, in a one bite on another day instead of multiple swipes at this? I mean, I gain my family nights by giving a daytime effort.
I'd be okay with a Saturday as long as I'm in town.
Run as long. Oh.
You want to look at a Saturday?
Maybe we could look at next week, Tuesday, Thursday, and then go from there and see where we're at for scheduling the next week, see how far we get.
Tuesday's study session.
Well, he had it slated for his Tuesday study session already as well.
But I did not. No, I was keeping the study sessions on the regular schedule.
Oh, I see. I'm looking at your email. Okay.
Oh, yeah, based on your email, I thought you had slated that for.
No, I was intended for the study sessions to stay as they currently are. So really, I just proposed the 4 meetings.
And just to put it out there, I mean, we all have families, including staff. So I think if we could do it during the week and not impose any more on, staff members' families, I think that will be helpful.
With that information, can you come up with a couple of ideas that you can disseminate?
We'll give it a shot. You bet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Hold on.
Not yet.
No, can I do this, George?
Yes, sir. You go ahead.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved.
All in favor? Thank you, all. appreciate you all attending this evening.